starting over. Crash course in web programming. That's what we're doing here. It's crash course. Emphasis on the word crash because I am not a teacher. I am a web programmer, but not a very good teacher. So let's see what we could do. Oh, got to get this out here. Go to the next thing. Hi. This is my second time doing this. I don't know if I'm going to edit that so you know that, but this is the second time doing it, so I don't... Anyway, I'm Freddy. No big whoop. These are my Zoolander pictures that I did when they did headshots at my last job. This is pretty exciting. I don't get to do that anymore because I'm working remote, but that's okay because I get to do fun stuff like this. Okay. I'm self-taught. I Googled my education. I never went to school. I just needed a website at one point in time, a long time ago, and I hit the books and hit the Google and just started learning stuff, and then realized that I always did think that you needed a piece of paper to get a job as a programmer, and then I found out in around 2004 that that is not true, and it's especially not true now. As long as you got the chops, you can get jobs. So I'm going to try to teach you the chops. I've been a software developer for almost 20 years, and there's definitely sadness in that statement because I feel old. I am old. Who am I kidding? Anyway, I guess that's good for you though, because I've got a lot of crap in here that I'm going to try to share with you. I've been doing technical interviews for about 5 years at the past 2 jobs, asking full stack developer questions. Matter of fact, I can show you. When I first started doing these questions, this was the test that you could tell how old this is, but this was the test that I used to give people, and you can save it to a database, and just old stuff too, like really old stuff, but newer stuff back then. Neat stuff. Anyway, we'll go through that. We're not going to go through it, but well, we might go through it. I don't know. Later, much later. Yeah, moving on. I've had a lot of friends ask me if I could tell them how to code. Just tell them how to code. And I went as far as putting together a wiki and some ideas and a piece of server space that they could log in and learn things and mess around, and no one ever logged in. So I'm going to do these videos instead and send the videos. I feel like there's a lot of videos out there that will show you PHP or JavaScript or MySQL, little pieces here and there in different technologies, but I'm going to try to teach you end to end. So by the end of this thing, you should have a running server and a website and some subdomains, some email connected to it, some front end work, some back end work, database, the whole shazam. Can I say that? Is that copyright? The whole caboodle. Kit and caboodle. I'm not even sure. All right. Prepare for a lot quickly. Make your brain like a sponge. Oh yeah, I forgot to say this too. I better say that real quick. So, I am doing this because I do like to share my knowledge and teach people how to become computer programmers like I did. I feel like I got very lucky, and I thank God that I learned how to do computer programming. And so I like to share that with other people that are interested in it. I'm doing it for that reason. I'm also doing it because I am trying to get one of these beautiful electric motorcycles that I can't afford. I mean, they're not super expensive, but they're not super cheap. Look at that one's he's doing it. This has a name and I can't think of the name, but he's doing this. I know. I'm already in the loop. Thanks. And there's a drone right there. I'm such a nerd. I'm the biggest nerd. Anyway, prepare for a lot quickly. I'm going to just throw lots and lots of stuff at you, so hopefully you'll be able to rewind and pause and be able to learn stuff the best you can at your own pace, but I am going to be going through things quickly. I am old and I'm cheap, and prices vary out there. I am old and I am cheap, so I continually scour the internet for open source things that are free to replace things that cost money. And I do believe that I have found the cheapest VPS, or virtual personal server. Or is it virtual private server? Virtual private server. Anyway, I'll show you that and you'll be able to get started without spending a ton of money. But I'm going to try to keep these videos short, which means I got to talk fast. They're semi-scripted. I mean, I've got this thing telling me, what I should talk about, but I tend to ramble. So I'm really going to try to keep them short. I've already been rambling, especially when I got the internet and motorcycles and stuff. But I'll still try to keep them somewhat entertaining. We'll see. We'll see how I do. I'll try to organize the videos as a reference, so you can go back and reference it a little piece at a time in different technologies, as opposed to just, I know I said I'm going to throw everything at you all at once, but I am going to try to organize it so that you can find things that I said 13 videos ago, hopefully. And, I already said that. I'll say it again. It's worth repeating. I may ramble. There it is. I'm not scripting a lot, so I may start rambling. And ask questions. I can always make more videos. If you have questions or comments, leave them below, and I will try to get to them as quickly as possible, or maybe even spawn some videos just for you. And like, subscribe, follow, tell your friends, tell your enemies, and click on all the commercials you see, because I am trying to get one of these electric motorcycles, and they're not cheap. They're not expensive. They're right in the middle. Beginning disclaimer. This is I skipped this whole section. You'd never know because I edited around it. In no way can I cover everything. There are hundreds of different ways to wind up with the same result in computer programming. I'm going to show you, usually 9 times out of 10, I'm going to show you the path of least resistance, which I'm going to talk about that in a second. There's no way I can cover everything. That's just, now I'm repeating myself in my slides. I'll say it again. There are many ways to do pretty much anything in programming. All right, now I'm showing the paths of least resistance. All right, and let me assure you, try to make you as aware as possible. You will never know everything that there is to know. It's constantly changing. It's a constant moving target, and I am going to show you maybe about this much of this step. If this is the swimming pool of web programming knowledge, this whole pool, I'm actually being pretty generous with my chart here. I'm probably going to show you about this much, maybe a little bit over here, because I don't know what the hot tub represents, but that's all I'm showing you right now. And, if I make additional videos, it may be more, but this is 60 videos that I have planned right now. And it's going to be enough to get you started and have a web server and your own website up and running and doing stuff with projects. But it's barely anything. And I have Dunning-Kruger up here to remind me to do this. Dunning-Kruger. I may have spelled that wrong. And this is neat if you ever look into this, but it's a study that these guys did in psychology where some people will learn a little bit about a subject and they'll just think they know everything. I'm all done learning. And then this is actually, I'm not used to that graph. I'm used to graphs like this, right? It's like, boom, data science looks super easy. And then there's, and then, and then you learn more, and then you get more confidence as you get more competence. But this is great. I've seen so many people like this. I've given interviews to people like this that are right here. Then I just know friggin' everything, and then I ask them questions, and they lie. I'm gonna get into that later too, but in technical interviews, don't lie. I mean, they're my questions. I know the answers. It just baffles me. I'm flabbergasted, but I'm intrigued how people can think that they can BS their way through the questions that I wrote. And they say enough big words, I'm rambling. Be versatile and find out what works for you. All the things that I tell you might not work out for you. So, play around with other stuff. You'll be able to run whatever you want on your server when we get there. Try different things. Totally. Oh, I left my dots. All right. Halfway through these videos, you should have your own virtual personal server instance. Remember, I had problems with that word no more than 10 minutes ago. You'll have a running web server and database. You'll have a domain name connected to that server. You'll have a free open source server secure certificate. No stroke, that's good. Email account to be used with the server. Maybe an SMS account. I'll walk you through it, and we'll put that together. You'll know how to connect to it, and you'll know how to start programming it, which is the most important thing. Wait a minute. Okay, well, I guess I had this in my notes, but I didn't have it here. So that's fun. Anyway, I'll just say it. I'm getting old, and I'm not a fan of 3PP. I was talking about that before. Oh, no, I'll talk about that later. I was talking about that before. I'm going to start this over. I'm getting friggin' old, and I'm not a huge fan of third-party programming or extra steps to get the same result, which is what I find a lot of third-party programming to be. We'll get into that later. I'm probably going to upset a lot of people, and if you talk about these videos, I'm sure you're going to hear, nope, that's the wrong way to do it, and this guy's an idiot. And I assure you, I am an idiot. However, you don't have to stick to my methods. You do research and try other things that works for you. I am fine with that. Most of what I'm going to go over is Linux and not Windows. I do have a Windows computer, so I might do a little screen recording and do some stuff in Windows, but the majority of these videos are going to be in the Linux world. I think that's it for the first video. How'd I do? Yeah, guess we'll find out. Oh, howdy, partner. I'm changing my channel for a little while, and here's what it's going to be about. I've been a computer programmer for almost 20 years. It's been that long. Oh, God help me. I've had a lot of friends ask me how to code, so I'm putting these videos together in hopes to teach them, and you. I'm starting with about 60 videos, and you can see them all at blog.freddysthunder.com/programming. And I will have all of the videos listed here, and this is probably subject to change, but these are the first 61 that I'm planning. And for the very few of you subscribers I do already have, I will still be making videos about the Beast, and I'll still be doing music and skits and stuff. So be sure to like, subscribe, and leave some comments or some questions. I'll answer them, maybe.
Ha ha ha, hee hee ha, ho ha 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 ha.